Hello everybody, it's Cool Walking. Welcome back to more Let's Play Majora's Mask. In the last episode, we ran through the first 3-day cycle in which we were stuck as a Deku, and now this time we're going to find out that we're not going to be stuck as a Deku forever. Nothing lasts forever. Start it over. I'm drinking Victory Hop Devil. This is one of my favorite beers. This is a very, very hoppy beer. For those of you who don't know, or those of you who are too young to understand, and those of you who are going to wait until you're 21 to take that first sip of alcohol, like I did. Oh, I'm sorry, I can't stand by that one with a straight face. I didn't do that. But there are hoppy beers, and then there are bitch beers. Bitch beers are Bud Light, Corona, Miller, Coors. These kinds of beers are for people who claim that they like beer, but they don't really like beer. Because what beer is, I mean, I actually probably not going to say a correct statement right here, but it is... You know what, I'm not going to say that, that was definitely wrong. But what hops is a very, very, very bitter flavor that you need to grow into, acquire. You need to acquire the taste. And my God, I'm loving it. Very, very, very nice. I had a great day today. Because after one of my lessons, one of my students came up to me and he said, "You're getting to be a really good teacher," or something like that, and I fucking melted inside. I mean, it absolutely made my day. You cannot imagine what it feels like to have a student of yours come up to you on one day out of all the days. I mean, this is not just one lesson that somebody watches and says, "Hey, that guy, you know, was a good teacher for today." I mean, this was after a while, and I mean, it really meant a lot coming from him, because I mean, I feel like I am getting a lot better as a teacher as time goes on, and I just felt like today I was so on today. I mean, it really feels good after a day of teaching if you did it well. And it's hard to explain unless you do it, but I mean, the reason that I don't need that much money in my life is because I have so much self-gratification coming from the job that I've chosen, coming from my career. And I really, guys, I urge you to find something that you love doing. Do not be an engineer or a doctor because somebody else wants you to. Find what you want to do and do it. I think that many of you already have an idea of what you want to do. I used to, and I kind of regret it, but not really anymore because I discovered that I love teaching. But I used to really want to be a movie director, and there's no reason why I shouldn't have tried to direct movies. I mean, I've always thought that, no, actually, I'm a pretty shitty movie critic. I mean, I think that I am, but it takes a lot of knowledge to really critique a movie. I can't take this shit anymore. I want to talk for a little while about Super Smash Bros., the first one, that I hope that some of you have played. I know that it's a very old game, and a lot of you play Melee and Brawl. Me and my roommates, I've got 3 roommates, we all live together. We all love playing Super Smash Bros. And I think that the reason that we love playing it has got to be some nostalgia. I mean, we all played it as a child growing up. It was the sleepover game. My kids today, they were talking. It was kind of funny. One of my kids brought up the situation. He said something about a sleepover, and he had invitations that he had given to some of his classmates, and then like you could tell that there was some of his classmates who didn't get an invitation. And I remember, like, back in the day, like, just thinking, oh man, should I invite everybody, or how can I be secret about it? And this kid just blatantly said, "Hey, Randy, you coming to my fucking sleepover?" I don't know what he said, but what these kids do, and they were talking about how they're gonna play Black Ops all night, and I just, do I have to walk through there? I wonder if I can go around it. If I never go through there, do I? Oh wait, no, I'm gonna have to. It's not in the middle. It's in the near the tree. I'll skip it. These kids were all excited about playing Black Ops all night, and I was sitting there and I'm thinking, and I have played Black Ops, and I get it. I get why, I mean, kids play it. I don't get why they enjoy it. I get why they play it. There's so much pressure on these kids to play this game. Not really pressure, but, I mean, just, they talk about it all the time. I mean, if you're a kid and you have this video game system and all you hear about is everybody talking about this game that's got all this violence. Okay, I'm not going to talk about violence. I can't believe I brought that up. But what I'm trying to say is that if everybody's talking about the game, it automatically becomes a good game. And I'm not here to rant about how bad of a game Black Ops is, how good of a game Black Ops is. I'm here to tell you that these kids can't make their own decisions about what is good and what is bad. I don't care about how Black Ops has these issues or it has these good things about it. What I care about is how these kids don't know what games are actually available to them. Now, I'm starting to sound like a big nerd here, and I kind of want to stop talking about that, but what I'm trying to say is I think I lost my original point. Yeah, this sleepover thing. They're all excited about playing Black Ops, and I'm sitting there and I'm thinking, some of the best times I've had in my life were playing Super Smash Bros. 1. I mean, and I cannot really recall, I mean, I don't know what I'm doing wrong, but I cannot recall having as much fun doing the same thing. Well, actually, I do the same thing over and over on Smash, so this is kind of subjective thinking. There's two types of information. It's called objective and subjective. And I really hope that you guys can appreciate what the difference is between these two things, because every commercial that you will ever see is subjective. What subjective means is that it is not formulated upon fact. It is formulated sometimes on opinion. Hopefully it's on opinion, but sometimes it's formulated upon misconceptions that this media wants you to just go with. Cigarettes, alcohol, models, I mean the girls, like the way that women should look. I mean, who the fuck decided the way that women should look? I think some of the most beautiful women in the world are not models, I'm telling you that. They're the people who have the best personalities. Anyway, objective and subjective thinking. Oh, ow, help me. Do I have to take this off? I don't, sorry. Subjective thinking is subjective information, and I'm going to talk about that in just one second, subjective information. But what subjective means is that it is not formulated upon fact, it is not formulated upon known truths, it is formulated upon things that people want you to believe, like the best game today. That's not a fact. That is a company who is building themselves up and who has paid a lot of money. I mean, there's no way to prove this, but they pay these game review companies lots and lots of money to give them good reviews or even decent reviews. And now I'm not going to keep talking like this because that's subjective thinking. I'm talking from my heart. I'm telling you an opinion of mine that I strongly believe, first of all. But that just shows the very, very, very slim lines between objective and subjective thinking. Objective thinking, or objective information, is information that is based upon fact, and I really hope that you guys can start realizing what the difference is between objective and subjective is. Next time you see a commercial and they say something like best or number one or they say you or I, or there's some guy who says something about I mean, you cannot believe what these people are telling you. And I'm talking purely media. I mean, everything comes from media. That's what America is right now, is media. Everything comes from the media, and that's why you hear all these potheads, hippies, whatever, talking about media. I mean, I strongly believe, this is subjective thinking right now, that potheads, hippies, these people who have such strong opinions about things, they have them for good reasons, okay? And the people who don't have opinions on them, these are the people who grew up not knowing how to think for themselves. They don't know how to make rational decisions given the information available to them. So next time you have an opinion about it, think about what your opinion is and really think about where you got to that opinion from. What made you think that? That's a rant for you. That's why I think that marijuana is such a bad thing for our youth. I mean, now, if you don't want to hear about this, please skip to about 2 minutes ahead, or maybe 1 minute ahead. I can't guarantee when. But I strongly believe that marijuana is a mind-opening, not a drug. I'm not going to call it a drug because drugs are chemically made they're made chemically. And something that grows from the ground cannot be called a drug. But these kids, 14, 15, I hope you, if you are below, I'm not going to give you an age, but if you have started smoking marijuana at a young age, what's going to happen to you is you're not going to be able to form your own opinions about things, because what marijuana does is it closes off your perception. There's that word perception again. I'm going to say it once every video, and that's not, I'm not going to write that down to make sure I do. It's just that's what I'm going to save that for later. But there's perspective that these kids have. I keep saying students every time I say it. All right. Do I have to talk to you now? Speak to the hag? Sorry, dude. Now, if you start smoking marijuana at a very early age, you become blocked off from a lot of things, and what you mainly become blocked off from is forming your own opinions about things. I got a good amount of time. You need to be able to understand the world around you and form your own opinions given the facts that are available to you. I strongly urge you, next time you hear anything or you have an idea, just think about the way that you thought about it. Think about where that idea came from. Did somebody else tell you to think that way? Because what these young smokers do is they start smoking so early and then they never figure out how to get their own perspective on life, how to build their own person, how to build their own image. And what's going to happen is they're going to grow up and they're going to just be followers. Young stoners or young potheads become followers. I mean, that's subjective thinking, in my opinion. There's not based on fact. There's not been enough scientific research on marijuana. And by the way, the reason that there hasn't been enough scientific research on marijuana is because the government won't allow it, because this is subjective thinking, by the way. They know that. Subjective thinking, they know that there will not be, after they do the research, enough of a reason to keep marijuana criminalized. But that's going to be something that I can do a whole video on that. And that'll be objective thinking. I will have facts for you. I will not have opinions, I will have facts for you, and then you will form your own opinions. I cannot tell you an opinion. You need to think your own opinions, and you need to act on them. Alright? Now, there's another rant for you. I think it was kind of like an extension on the first one, so I'm going to call that a mega rant. Oh, fuck me! I'm going to kill that squid, and then I'm going to call it a day. Alright, because I'm not going to go ahead and, oh my golly, alright. I'm not going to record any longer than 15 minutes a day, because I need my time for myself. Now I need to talk to this hag, get the boat cruise, and kill that squid. I think that's mostly what I wanted to cover. The victory, Hop Devil, subjective versus objective. Oh yeah, and I wanted to say one more thing. Think of everything that I just said, and what it's called is subjective and objective information. And subjective information is a fallacy, and what a fallacy is a contradiction in itself. So listen to what I'm saying now. Subjective information. Information is facts that are strongly supported by evidence, and you cannot have... What do you need to take a picture of? I don't think you really need to take a picture of anything, but subjective information is a fallacy because you cannot have information that is based upon opinion. That is not information, that is purely opinion, alright? That's a mini rant. Oh, man. I had a good day today. Good day. I took a walk after dinner. Instead of picking out and watching a movie or playing video games like I usually do, I think I'm going to start playing less video games, except for when I record. Because this is kind of not really my idea of video games. This is just me making daily recordings of the thoughts of my day. And the reason that I have all these thoughts and I talk so... Well, I don't know if I'm talking smoothly. You can tell me that. Tell me your subjective thinking about the way that I formulate my thoughts. But the reason that I can just talk and talk and talk is because... First of all... well, I'm going to end my thought there. It's because I think about what I'm going to say all day long, over and over again, because I think too much. It's a bad way to end a video. Guys, I will see you next time on Let's Play Majora's Mask. Thanks for watching. It's cool walking out.